hello. I'm fine. And then, of course, it looks like we have something really happening now.
Yeah.
That's the studio. Let me grab my mic, and then I guess I can start.
Yeah.
Rush is
Yes.
the name.
Rush of DKB. Rush and DKB.
How many people do you have in the studio? How many people consist of DKB?
DKB, we are 3 in number. We're working under the umbrella of DKB. So it's 3, myself, David Bolton, and Kibans. Yep.
Now, first of all, let me just remind you that I am in the studios of DKB. Yes, not the word or not the initials DKB, like the D, the K, and the B. They are all different things, and it's actually an umbrella. And when we talk about this studio, you can think way back, way back. The likes of KK Fosu, VIP, Reggie Rockstone, Abrewanana. The list is just endless, but they've all passed through the hands of these producers here in the studio. Maybe they were away for some time or they went low a bit, but they are back and already they are recording a lot of artists in the studios. And for me today, I had the opportunity to come in here to interact with them. I want to know what happened. I want to know who is recording here. I want to know, the experiences they had back then. And of course, it's all about music and the artists. Maybe my rap career can start from here. All right, so let me start with, okay, the first one out of 3. So the name is?
I'm David Bolton.
Okay, so you are the Bolton. Ghanaian or British?
Ghanaian. My mum is a Fanti and my dad is Scottish. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And it's a privilege to be in your studios. And then let me just first of all ask, where has DKB Studios been all these years? After you produced some of the top artists back then, it was like we didn't hear from you guys again, and you're back again.
Yeah. It's a long story, but essentially we went on break. We say it was an extended break, more than 10 years. But we all are professionals in other areas. I'm an IT professional. Rush is also into electronics and telecommunications and so on. So we all went to do our respective professions, and then we were still working in the music industry. As I was mixing songs with Mensa, Reggie Rockstone, and remember when Irene and Jane first came out with Efia when they first won the Stars of the Future. Yeah. So I was working with them. We were also working, in London here and doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Yeah.
That's quite surprising. But of course, since you were doing, what made you come back to say that I want to come back and start it all up, with the music? Let me just take it full time and then do what I have to do as a producer.
Well, the thing about music, as I'm sure you know, once it's in your heart, it's there forever. There's nothing you can do to get rid of it. So it's something we've been planning for a number of years, about 4 or 5 years. We've been planning to get back fully into the industry, and we saw that there was a gap in the market. There are a lot of new producers who are doing very, very creative and excellent stuff. But we felt that there was also a break between what was happening in the early 2000s and what's happening now, and we felt that we can bridge that gap. Mm-hmm.
Now, you have been monitoring the kind of music we're doing. We can say that high life back then is not the same as high life now. Hip life back then is not the same as hip life. And then other genres, we also heard of the Azontos and all of that. What is it? What has changed in terms of music back then and now?
Well, a lot has changed. Technology has transformed the industry, as it has done with everything else, mobile phones and all of that. Music now, I don't remember the last time I actually picked up a CD to play a CD in a CD player. It's all electronic, it's online, you can stream music now, you can download it and so on. The same thing applies to the creation of music now. Whereas before you needed tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment to actually be able to create something. Now, literally with a laptop and some software, you can create your own thing. You see the thing, which is both good and bad. What it means now is that anybody can create music. It's accessible to anybody who has that that talent that they want to bring to the forefront. But it also means that, as I say, there's a gap between the skill, the technical know-how, and the creativity. So I think there's a lot more we can be doing with the sound that we're creating, in terms of the quality of music, and especially if we want to be able to access the global market, we need to do a lot more.
I mean, you have worked with lots of musicians. I mentioned quite a few. I understand KK Fiso actually recorded his first studio album from DKB Studios. Abrewanana, Reggie Rockstone, and lots of them. Can you share some of the experiences you had with these artists back then? I mean, they are big artists. We always remember them wherever we go. We mention their names when we talk of top musicians. I mean, the VIPs and all of that. Can you share some of the experiences you had with them back then?
Yeah, well, it's such a range of things. I mean, if you talk about VIP, man, they were a handful. You can imagine these Nima boys, and full of energy, and trying to control them. And I'm the quiet type. Rush is the type that can keep them in line. So there were a number of times where he actually threw them out of the studio for a few weeks, because they were so rowdy. But then they were so creative. That's one thing about VIP in particular. They're so creative when it comes to putting together hooks and melodies, and so it was so good with the end product that we got out of them. And then you have other people like Obrafo, who is very, very humble. He's very thoughtful, and he will be in his shell, writing and so on. And you rather have to bring him out. People like Mensa, who Mensa, I think we started working with him when he was about 18 or 19. And again, he's so creative and so bubbly, full of energy. And it was so good to be able to be part of their beginning, and to see where they've got to now. It's a proud feeling. Yeah.
I mean, looking at the list of musicians you just gave out now, I mean, I would also go to Rush, because I think Rush seemed to have some more info. I know there are two other people. I want to hear more stuff from them. I mean, the conversation is really getting exciting, because I really want to know what is going on. But let me go to Rush. I'll go to Rush. I'll come back to you. And okay, so now I'm moving straight to Rush, and Rush. Rush energy drink. Are they paying you for that?
They don't really pay me. They don't give me anything. I just they borrowed my name anyway. My name has been there ages ago, over 20-something years. Yeah, so but anyway, it's Ghana for you. Yeah.
I mean, Rush, we are doing. I mean, I would ask all of you these questions at the end of the day, because once you all say it, then it means it's something that is really going on in that particular one. But first of all, let me ask you. You have also been monitoring the music scene and everything. What do you make of our current producers? We can talk of the likes of Apietus, Kewa. I don't know whether when Apietus was then back then you were also on board, but Kewa, Q Beats. Inshona music came. These days is slow. Lots of them. But what do you make of our music producers here in Ghana?
Oh, we've got solid music producers here. And what I can say, they are doing a lot. Somebody like Apietus, when we were making hits, he just now started. So after we left, and then his songs start coming out. In 2005, I came to Ghana and I saw some of his songs out there and stuff like, which were good. A lot of hits came out, which was very great. Yeah, but you see, when you're into this trade, you always have to be able to upgrade yourself and up yourself. Some of us, me for instance, David was doing his thing. I went back to England. I was doing my sound engineering. At the same time, I was in uni, trying to broaden my horizon, trying to get things, So I was just learning, and we just keep learning and try to improve what we already did before. Yeah. So for me, the sound engineers here, they've got very brilliant ones, and the other ones also not really doing well, because some of them come in within a short time, they leave the scene. So I can say kudos to most of them, and then they did well. I mean, they hold the game. Yeah.
All right, now looking at our musicians currently, yes, I mean, some of our old musicians have complained about the fact that there's a very big gap when it comes to our old musicians and new ones. And, you know, they've tried so much. I mean, Musica has done its best to try and bring some of these musicians together, but it's never working. What is the problem? What do you think we can all do to make this happen?
The problem, one, is the old musicians really take their time in recording. And that is something that a lot of the new ones are not doing. For instance, us as in DKB, we have a ways of recording. We just don't record people because we want to record, do the beat, you come in and sing, and then go away and the song is ready. We don't do that. We take our time and make sure that we're very, very detailed in what we do. So our music is actually, if you see us working, like if a song is done and we're working on it and mixing it, you can tell, because sound itself, as you see, has so many things you can do with it. A sound, you've got low frequencies, you've got high frequencies. Depending on what you want, you can actually cut off the low frequencies and maybe 2-3 dBs off the sound you want to work on, and you can get exactly what you want. And songs needs to be cleaned up. You know, you need to produce a clean sound that can actually cut across and will be matching with people like Beyonce's and stuff like that. So these are some of the reasons why DKB, we said no. We, like what David said, want to bridge the gap between the old school and the new school. But the up and coming ones, they don't have patience to really achieve an evergreen song that can last forever, that they can play now, and you know that, hey, this song is there. Like for instance, when you play Menson's first album, you can tell Yogi Dogi, Exto, Gogo Ho, Pricky, Oba Fefe, a lot of people that came through our hands, and you still can feel their song when it's played now. You know, so basically what I can say about the old and new musicians now is about taking your time and have the time to do what is right, and get advice from the experts and get what you want, so that you can cut across. Music is not about Ghana alone. You know, David is in DKB, but he's still doing his first second album or third album, but we still kind of working on the song one after the other. It took us a month to finish one track, so that's what we do. Yeah.
Now, looking at our musicians, lately we've all complained, as I said, the last time Keke Vosu was in the studio, talked about drugs. He used to do it. And then we also had Exdo, who also talked about it. Even till now, most of the musicians are perceived to be on drugs, and that is something that enables them to be able to go on stage or record the best music. You have worked with all these musicians back then. Were they on drugs before they come on studio, into the studio? How was their demeanor? How do they act? Is this something they do before they come, or when they come it happens and you have to drive them out? How was it like?
Oh, some of them do it, I know, but you know, we've got a policies that if you have anything to do, you can do it outside, not in our studio. That's our policy, that's our standard. So I always try and enforce that. One, there's other artists that don't take nothing and they just come and do their thing because it's been inside them for a very long time and they just want to pour it out. And artists like Mensa doesn't take any substance or anything. But some of them do, which I'm not going to mention names anyway, because when they come in, they just, you can see they have something that is really giving them the edge to do their best, and that's what pushes them. Sometimes they are very shy on their normal self, but to come into the studio, you have to take something just to, you know, kick them a little bit for them to be able to deliver what they need to do, you know.
Yeah, I think they've said it all. But one more thing, until we stop releasing pre-productions, trust me, Ghana music is going nowhere. Yeah, sure.
So Shatarako is one artist that, yes, we've seen his works. We're still yearning for more, but we are waiting. We don't know what is happening, but I understand he's recording here, and you should be able to give us all the details to that.
Yeah, Shatarako is he's an artist that, one, I think he's so talented. He's so talented, but he's not managed to break through yet. You see the thing, and I think the breakthrough is just around the corner. So what I've been doing is, I'm also a musician. So I'm working on my new album, and we worked together on a latest track, which is actually a lovers rock reggae track, which is my first reggae track. It's called "Leave My Heart on the Floor." So it's actually just been released. Okay. So it's on YouTube. It's been played on air and so on. So you know, we want to show. You see the thing in terms of.